Hello, fourth graders. Welcome to lesson 2.8. Today, we are going to talk about a fancy term called multiplicative comparisons. Whew, that's a lot of syllables, but I am going to make sure that you understand what to do today. Let's start with these little doggies here. What do you notice about these two dogs? Yeah, right. There's lots of things. One is larger than the other. That's a comparison statement. One is smaller than the other. That's a comparison statement. Comparing is when we talk about how things are this similar and different. You might have said the big dog is 6 times as large as the small dog, right? That's a comparison statement as well. All right. What I want you to do is to take a look at these two line segments. Now I've measured them for you. You can see that Eve's ribbon is 8 centimeters and Maxine's ribbon is 16 centimeters. And I would like for you to write a sentence comparing the two of those ribbons. Go ahead. All right, so things that you might have said, right? These are all comparison statements. The length of Maxine's ribbon is 2 times the length of Eve's ribbon, right? 2 times. 8 times 2 is 16. Uh, Maxine's ribbon is twice as long as Eve. Two of Eve's ribbons would be equal to the length of Maxine's ribbon. Eve's ribbon is half, right? Or smaller than the length of Maxine's because 8 is half of 16. All of these types of statements are called comparison statements. We're comparing two things. Comparison statements include information about both quantities, right? About the small and the big, or whatever it is that you're comparing. Now, lots of words that you'll see with comparisons: longer than, shorter than, 2 times as many, long as, two of this will equal that, right? All of these are comparison words when we're comparing two different things. Yummy. I want to eat this one. All right. So, our job today is to be able to solve multiplicative. Now, I bet you know what that's going to involve. Multiplicative, going to involve multiplication, comparisons correctly. So, let's look at this one. A DVD costs $15 and a book costs $5. What multiplicative comparison statement can you make about the two objects? Well, think about $15 and $5. You might say that a DVD costs 3 times as much as the book. Okay. Or you could say 3 books equal the cost of one DVD, right? These are multiplicative comparisons. If we wanted to write a equation for that comparison, we could write this, right? 5 times 3 equals 15, or 15 equals 3 times 5. These are multiplication problems that are represent the comparison statements that we were saying earlier. All right, here's one for you to help me with. Becca has 7 colored pencils in her pencil box. Ahmed has 4 times as many colored pencils as Becca. How many colored pencils does Ahmed have? All right, so let's write a multiplication problem. What multiplication problem, include the answer, should we write here? Okay, so he has 7 colored pencils. She has 4 times as many, and that would answer would be 28. Okay, this is what you should have had. 7 times 4 equals 28. Okay, here's another one, right? Will has 9 markers. Jeremy has 3 times as many markers as Will. How many markers does Jeremy have? Write an equation with an unknown. Now, so we could write an equation with an unknown. When we're talking about unknowns, we're putting in little letters. Let's get rid of part of this for now. Okay. So if Will has 9 markers and Jeremy has 3 times as many, you can see the answer up here at the top. If we wanted to write that with an unknown, we would write 3 times 9 equals, and then we would put in a letter here, right? It's called a variable, and it's going to stand for the answer. 3 times 9 equals m. So the rest of this, does the equation represent the situation in the number story, right? It does because he has 9 markers and Jeremy has 3 times as many. So Jeremy has more, right? So our answer has to be more. Now, sometimes it will not be, right? Sometimes it'll be less, and I'll show you some of those most likely tomorrow, okay? All right. Here's another way we can write things, right? So 5 times 4 equals 20. So 20 is 5 times as much as what number? Well, 4, right? 20 is 4 times as much as what number? 5, right? Because, right, you could say either one of those. 20 is, well, that's just the sentence with the answer in it. 20 is 4 times as much as 5, right? That's the same as saying 5 times 4 equals 20. So just writing some of these multiplication ideas in some comparison sentence. All right, and then the last type of thing that we're going to need to know how to do is to write our own multiplicative comparison. So we're going to start with Mr. White. Mr. White has 5 whats? What do you want me to have 5 of? All right, well, I couldn't quite hear you, but my mind's on dogs. I'm going to put dogs. Maybe you put dogs too. Uh, Mr. White has 5 dogs. Somebody's going to have more. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be you? All right. Maybe hopefully your name is Bob. Bob has 4 times more dogs than Mr. White. And then our question is going to be about how many dogs Bob has, right? So how many dogs does Bob have? And we know the answer, right? Because we've already have the multiplication question here. We've just written a multiplication comparison number story. All right. So our goal today is being able to solve these multiplicative comparisons. And you're going to see this page in your math journal. This is page number 52. You're going to be doing some of the same items that we did on the video here, right? Looking at things that are compared, to be able to compare them, figure out how many times more they are. Down at the bottom, you do get to get to have a number comparison story here. Okay. All right. That is all today. Be sure to reach out to me if you have any questions, and good luck.